I'm going to tell you all about solid principles. But before that, we need to get into two things. One is coupling, one is cohesion. And I'll tell you exactly why they matter. So let's open a new file called cohesion.java. Now, what cohesion means each component of your code does exactly what it promises to do. Let me show you a really bad cohesive example. You have some class, let's call it handle user, okay? Let's say we have an app or something, and we want to handle certain methods for user creation. This is going to be pseudocode. I'm not really going to try run this. So we have a method called some method. Okay, let's say public void create user, for example. Now we are creating the user. So what do we need to do? Ask email password. Okay, what this is doing is it's going to ask your email and password and whatever. And then you validate the user like this. And then you can create the user just like so. And then when you're done creating the user, you can send a welcome email like welcome email. Okay. Now this is very low cohesion because notice that this method promises to create the user, but it's doing 4 separate things. So first, it's setting down config details. Validating the user is authenticating. Creating the user is profile creation. And this is actually what we want. Then the welcome email is just part of the welcome message. So how can we fix this, right? It's doing 4 separate things inside one method. So how can we fix this? We can actually fix this by delegating these separate things into separate methods. So we can get rid of these at the moment. We can get rid of this as well. For example, let's say you make a method, say public void ask user details. And this, I don't know, you use your code and, ask a name, ask email, ask password, ask, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter, whatever. So this is just your, okay, you can have like getters and setters here, where you just set these whatevers, and okay, basically it's a black box, right? All you know is this is what the method is called, and this is what it does, okay? That's it. And the next is, let's say, public. I'm using void because like there's not really a actual code there, so there's no point returning int or string or whatever. So let's say you have void create user. And now what we want to put in here is just create user, okay? Like we take this and there's some logic that goes in here and just creates the user based on this. And that's your whole thing. That's your whatever code. Then you have like void welcome the user. Welcome. Oh my God. User. Okay. Now you have welcome user. And we can put in, send welcome email, for example. And then we can have public void authenticate user. Authenticate. User over here, whatever parameters you want to pass in, whatever. So you can do validate email, validate phone number, like this. So, and look, let's compare this to what we had before, okay? So this is an example of bad cohesion. This is really bad cohesion. This is better cohesion. This is better cohesion because this method is doing exactly what, like this is saying, like the method is named exactly what it's actually doing. Same with this, same with this, same with this, right? But there's another problem here, right? Another problem is that, look, this class is called handle user, okay? Now, it's asking user details. Yeah, that's part of the user experience. Well, you know, creating the whole thing. Create user, of course, that's part of the handling user. But a welcome message, it's not necessarily part of handling the user because you can have user creation without a welcome method. And authenticate, this is usually going to be like a separate kind of like a class or method or whatever it's on. So what I mean is this is overall bad cohesion. So method is bad cohesive and the class is also, you know, like not very cohesive. But this, yes, methods are cohesive, but the class itself is not cohesive. So how we fix that is I'm going to copy paste the code because I don't want to waste time typing all of it out again. So, and then we have class wide cohesion. Okay, better cohesion, and we'll rename this, or method wide cohesion. Okay, now class wide cohesion is this. Okay, now let's look at this for a second. We have handle user. We can collapse these, and it'll just tell us. Okay, email service. We open this. All it does is welcome message for the user, some method, right? And this this code you have here that's responsible for sending the welcome email. Now, of course, I don't mean this is a method you can like replace with whatever code you want. Same with this, but all you know is this method sends the goodbye email, or you know what, it could be SMS, not even email, doesn't matter. But this method just sends message the user. We can actually rename this service into like message service. Okay, so we have message service here. Let's expand the handle auth. Now, whatever you want, like, you know, you can handle your DB connection right here. And then you have your user method creation, like verification, as in this is for when you are creating the user. Like, okay, let's go in here. So obviously you ask about details, right? Cohesive, very cohesive, because you're sticking all this to one method. Then method to create the user. Now you're going to take all this and actually handle the user creation. And this is for user deletion, right? Now look, this does exactly what this promises to do. This does exactly what this promises to do. And this does exactly what this promises to do. And all of these combined do exactly what this promises to do. Same with this and this. So you have like you basically handle authentication. So this is for like over here, like handle user creation. So you want to do verify email, verify phone number. Like if you have like a SaaS or something and you want like an upfront payment or even like a trial period or whatever, like for example, you can verify the payment method here, like the card exists or whatever. So again, this does exactly what this promises to do. And this method as well, verify email. This is for, let's say you already have an account and you want to log in, and all it does is send an email or something on your phone, check if it's really you, like 2FA. And this is to handle this. Now, is this not so much better than this? And this is much better than this. So cohesion doesn't just mean on a single plane. It also means like what kind of scope you're applying it at. You can apply this at, I mean, of course, like variable levels, like, you know, naming them better. Then you have your methods, your actual code inside the method, cohesive. Then you can have your cohesive methods, and then you can have your cohesive class. Okay. Now, next, I want to talk about coupling. Now, coupling is kind of different. Coupling just means how interconnected your code is. Like how much your code depends on other code, right? Because, for example, look, coupling is, I don't name this Java, hold on. Not that it really matters. Okay, so coupling is how interconnected your code is, aka how much does it depend on other code. Okay, now let's think about this for a second. Let's say you have some class A, and this needs something to do with class B, okay? And then you have class B, and this does, I don't know, something to do with class C. And then class C has some computation here. So if this fails, this will fail. If this fails, this will fail. So this is very tightly coupled. Now, this is actually part of the, everything I'm explaining here is very much a part of the solid principles. That's why I'm explaining cohesion and coupling beforehand. So I'm going to, basically the reason is this is the one phrase you need to remember. It's called chain of failure. High coupling creates high chain of failure. High coupling is equal to high chance of chain of failure. Okay. So to put it into plain English, right? Let's say you have your radio, okay? You have a car and you have your radio, right? Now your radio sends signals to your, your brakes, for example, and your brakes send signals to your steering, and your steering sends signals to your engine, right? So if anything breaks with the radio, eventually your engine breaks and your car breaks. So broken radio means broken car. And that's terrible, right? Because that's just bad design, and that's high coupling. So let's look at code, right? Let's go back to sort of this, right? Now look, this is pretty high coupling. This is very high coupling because this method to ask details, you're trying to use this method over here, authenticate user. You are going to be using this method, and welcome user, that's fine. If create user successful, basically all the code in here is interconnected. Now that's just examples within the actual code. Of course, this spans class wise. So if you have many classes, or look, you have some modules, okay? Modules, some list of modules, and you have packages. Now you have package A, right? And you have package B all the way to, package I or package whatever, right? And inside the package, you're going to have class A, right? You're going to have class B, whatever, stuff like that. And inside classes, you're going to have methods, and inside methods, you're going to have your actual code. So it actually goes up the chain. You can fix code, right? Then you have to fix methods, but then you also have to look at classes, and then you have to look at packages or your methods or whatever your chain of structure might be. So coupling, that's what it means. It just means high coupling is bad. Low coupling is good. Independency is good. We're always aiming for low coupling, but we're always aiming for a high cohesion, okay? Again, to run everything again, yeah. Cohesion just means each component of your code does exactly what it promises to do, right? Bad cohesion, da-da-da, look at this. Just rewind the video. Better cohesion, this is method-wide. Class-wide cohesion, the best cohesion in this scenario is the whole class. Coupling is how interconnected, how dependent your code is.